What's up? What's good? It's your boy and your favorite host, Tommy Springfield, aka the king of all things talk TV, internet, radio, at the park, at the barbershop, wherever you talking, I'm running the show. It's only two type of talking we don't do over here, and that's pillow talking and talking to them boys. I'll at your boy. But before we get into all that, what I really want to know is, can I talk to you? I said, I don't think you heard me. Can I talk to you? If you like what I'm doing over here, click like, share, subscribe, click the bell so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. Today's video is pretty interesting. This is a whistleblower. He said he's been in the business for 40 years, and he warned that the planes ain't safe. Them planes y'all be taking them trips on and blowing all y'all money. Yeah, he said them could rip apart mid-flight. But I did enough talking. I'm going to let him talk. Let's get into the video.
Chairman Blumenthal and Ranking Member Johnson and the honorable members of the subcommittee, thank you for convening this hearing. My name is Sam Salehpour, and I'm a quality engineer at the Boeing. I have over 40 years of experience as an engineer. I'm not here today because I want to be here. I'm here today because I felt that I must come forward because I do not want to see another 787. I do not want to see 787 or 777 crash. I have serious concerns about the safety of the 787 and 777 aircraft, and I'm willing to take on professional risk to talk about them. First, little bit about me. I came to the United States in 1973 and got a mechanical engineering degree from University of Missouri, where Senator Hawley is from. After that, I worked for companies that they were involved in the space shuttle. I had a friend, engineer, that worked on the space shuttle. He was always complaining about the quality of the O-rings that we had in the space shuttle Sararauka boosters. He was scared that they might fail. He raised his concerns, and he was heard, and he wasn't heard. And 7 brave astronauts, including the teacher in space, died when the Challenger O-rings ultimately failed, just as he predicted.
So, what he's saying is, when the space shuttle blew up a few years back and the school teacher and all that was on it, they were told that it was going to fail, but no one listened. So those lives could have been prevented. That school teacher lost her life. That traumatized, I'm pretty sure, all of her students. You know what I'm saying? But let's let them continue to talk.
At the moment, I know that if I were ever in a similar situation, I would have to come up and speak up. I have analyzed Boeing's own data to conclude that the company is taking manufacturing shortcuts on the 787 program that may significantly reduce the airplane safety and the life cycle. Since 2013, there have been serious issues on the 787 program, not properly closing thousands of gaps in its assembly of the fuselage.
Since 2013, they've been complaining that they're not closing gaps that need to be closed on these planes that people ride in way up in the sky.
On major joints. Boeing's standard says that these gaps must be closed, usually by a small shim or filler called a shim when they exceed 0.005 of an inch. This seems very small. Boeing's PR team like to call it the width of a human hair when you are operating at 35,000 feet. Details are that the size of a human hair can be a matter of a life and death. In a rush to address its bottlenecks in production, Boeing hit problems pushing pieces together with excessive force to make them appear that the gaps don't exist, even though they exist. The gap didn't actually go away, and this may result in premature fatigue failure. Effectively, they are putting out defective airplanes. I repeatedly produced reports for my supervisors and Boeing management demonstrating that the gaps in the 787 not being properly measured or shimmed in 2 major joints of the 787. Evaluating from Then 29 inspected airplane data, I found gaps exceeding the specification that were not properly addressed 98.7% of the time. I want to repeat that. 98.7% of the time, the gaps that they were supposed to be shimmed, they were not shimmed.
98.9% of the time. I think they got a better conviction rate of producing bad airplanes than the feds got a convicting people, because I think the feds is at 98%. That's crazy. I don't know. I'm just rambling over here, but 98.9% of the time, they didn't fix these gaps. So every plane out there ain't safe. He repeated it, so we gonna let him repeat it again.
7% of the time. I want to repeat that. Measured or shimmed in two major joints of the 787. Evaluating from Boeing, from the 29 inspected airplane data, I found gaps exceeding the specification that were not properly addressed 98.7% of the time. I want to repeat that. 98.7% of the time, the gaps that they were supposed to be shimmed, they were not shimmed. The other issue that I found, when you have these gaps and you drill through them, you get some debris in the stack-ups. This is known to be a problem, not a good thing for the airplanes by Boeing. But Boeing data also, from the inspection of the data, shows that the debris ended up in the gaps 80% of the time. Again, you have
So you can't have these gaps because debris gets into them and I guess cause them to wear and tear sooner than they should. And we know they didn't fill the holes 98.9% of the times. Now he's saying the debris gets in these things 80% of the time. That's crazy.
In the stack-ups. This is properly addressed 98.7% of the time. I want to repeat that. 98.7% of the time, the gaps that they were supposed to be shimmed, they were not shimmed. The other issue that I found, when you have these gaps and you drill through them, you get some debris in the stack-ups. This is known to be a problem, not a good thing for the airplanes by Boeing. But Boeing data also, from the inspection of the data, shows that the debris ended up in the gaps 80% of the time. Again, you have debris in the gaps 80% of the time. I want to make clear that I have raised these issues over 3 years. I was ignored. I was told not to create delays. I was told, frankly, to shut up. At one point, Boeing management got sick of me and raising these issues and moved me out of the 787 program into the 777 program. On the 777 program, I found problems. Again, I found that Boeing started a new process to build the airplane.
So because it would cost them so little money of their billions that they make to fix these issues, and probably would have to stop flying all of their whole fleets. That would be definitely devastating. But instead, they just moved them, got rid of them.
Without taking into the consideration of the design of the airplane and how the airplane was designed. As a result, I witnessed severe misalignment when the planes were assembled. Boeing manufacturing used unmeasured and unlimited amount of force to correct the misalignment. And this also weakens the airplane in the long run. I literally saw people jumping on the pieces of the airplane to get them to align. I call it the Tarzan effect, among other improper methods.
Oh no, did he just say they was ghetto-fying the planes? They was doing something that black and Spanish mechanics do, jumping on the parts to get them to fit? No, he didn't say that. Let's go back. He didn't say, these is airplanes that y'all fly on. Because I don't be messing with them planes. Let's see what he says.
To correct the misalignment problems. Again, I found that Boeing started a new process to build the airplane without taking into the consideration of the design of the airplane and how the airplane was designed. As a result, I witnessed severe misalignment when the planes were assembled. Boeing manufacturing used unmeasured and unlimited amount of force to correct the misalignment. And this also weakens the airplane in the long run. I literally saw people jumping on the pieces of the airplane to get them to align. I call it the Tarzan effect.
Yo, that's like if your tire whopped on your bike and you trying to hammer it back in shape. They was doing this to planes. They was jumping up and down on parts. That's crazy because I had this job one time where I was making like carburetors for jet engines and stuff. And it was a company with government contracts. And I couldn't imagine me doing that wrong. You know, like I took pride in making those things, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess over here at Boeing, people are jumping up and down on pieces, man, to get it right. Hey, y'all better stop messing with these planes.
Among other improper methods. Again, I raised concerns internally. I was sidelined. I was told to shut up. I received physical threats. My boss said, I would have killed someone who said what you said in a meeting. And then this is not a safety culture when you get threatened by bringing issues of safety concerns. I hope that your work on this issue signals to Boeing that they must make real changes and get back to building the airplane safely. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
That's crazy. Y'all heard it. This dude got 40 years in the business working at this airport company, and he told them, yo, y'all not doing stuff right. 98.7% of the time they're making the mistake. 80% of the time what causes the issue is happening. And you got people, he called it the Tarzan effect. I don't know. Monkeys jumping up and down. I don't know the reference, Tarzan effect, but they were jumping up and down on parts to make them align, bro. That's crazy. But, you know, that's what's going on in the world of airplanes. Be careful and pray to whoever your God is the next time you get on the plane. Like I always say, if you're a supporter of me and the channel, much love and respect to you. And if you out here hating, cut the shit.